Welcome back everyone. Today we're in the Giants editor and I'm Jewel, and as you can see we're working on the Jewel's Peaceful Valley map that I am making and editing. Basically was a 4x starter blank map, and it was a flat blank map, and I put my DEM in it, and now we're working on it. So I'm gonna go ahead and roll in and back to where we left off. We were plotting out the fields and the little houses area and the shed areas and different things like that. So as you can see, we did this on a previous episode. If you want to see that, just look back in the playlist. But we're just checking around. Some things may change, not everything's going to stay the same. We do need to mold some of the ground, so some of this will slightly change depending on what I have to, situate. I'll probably make this fence go straight across. This will move over. This H will move over because there'll be a house over here more. Probably even over here more, and then this will come straight across here. Matter of fact, let's go ahead and get that started. What you can do is turn on the paint right here, or the red pencil, the paint mode, and basically you want to hold your little brush over the top of which one you want to paint with, or you can select it in this list over here, the texture layer. Just pick which one you want. In this case, I'm going to select the one here. This is the asphalt, and I'm going to hit Control R as in Richard, and it will select it for me. As you can see, that changed from animal mud to asphalt alpine. And basically when you hit Control R over the top of any one of the different things that you can paint down, like if I hold it over this gravel area and hit Control R, watch it change. See, it changed. And then I put it back on the asphalt, Control R on the keyboard, it changes. Put it over the dirt, Control R on the keyboard, it changes. So you just do that, and it helps you save time, that you don't got to go down this list every single time. But there's a lot of choices in there, so you're still going to use the list. I just wanted to show you that. Alright, so now we're going to go ahead and make this go straight across roughly, and this is just to give us an idea. We're going to be obviously making it a little better than that. And then this part we can cover up with grass, so hover over the grass, Control R. Now we can cover that up, or make this bigger and just get rid of it, and we'll get rid of that H, and then we'll move it to the other side, and we'll lower this down, put this on Control R on the gravel, and we'll put an H over here. We'll put a house there. We'll have to adjust the ground, but we're not worried about that right now. And I personally, that's just my preference. You may not like it, but I like a house and a shed on pretty much every property. Maybe not every single one, but pretty much. So that's just me. So alright, so now this is our sheep area. Now that may change a little bit, but the side, we got a hill here, so we'll see. We might adjust it a little bit here. The roads are obviously going to adjust some because you can't have them crooked like that, but this is all preliminary. We're not quite to that point yet. We're just getting it marked out. Alright, so we need to put some fields here. So anyway, I hope everybody's having a wonderful day. I appreciate every single subscriber. Welcome to the channel. Go ahead and smash that like button if you like these videos and tutorials and you want to see more. Stay tuned. I will be doing simulator games again as soon as possible. So let's get to it. Alright, so let's pick the dirt. We'll go ahead and turn on the paint, and then we'll put it over the dirt, Control R. And we're going to probably go ahead and change our brush type to square, and it's on add already, so we're good there. And I'm going to turn this off so I can back out. I'm going to hold down Alt. I'm telling this each thing I do for the beginners because they see this stuff being done and they don't know what buttons and stuff, and I'm trying to help those that don't know. So bear with me if you don't want to hear me say all that. I apologize, but the beginners need to hear that, and I hope I do a good enough job explaining. So I'm going to hold down the Alt button on the keyboard. I'm going to hold down the right mouse button on the mouse, and I'm going to drag it back. Okay, pull the mouse towards you. And then if you want to go forward, push the mouse away. while you're holding the right mouse button down and the Alt button down. Okay, so the left Alt button. Alright, so now you can hold down the right mouse button and move left and right, up and down, or just roll in and out with the scroll wheel. Now I'm just looking here at what I want to do. I'm thinking about, should we change any angles of the fences, or what should we do here? Let's see, we got this going to be a little different. I would like some different shapes on these fields. So why don't we do something different here? Let's see. What shall we do? What I might do here is break that apart. See, we got one whole lot here. This is going to break off. We got this lot here. We'll have a shed here. Let's go ahead and paint that down real quick because I didn't paint it down. Oop, that was an accident. Alright, let's fix that mess. Alright, let's make an S here somewhere, roughly speaking. Alright, we should turn around and make a C for our cabin. Put a C over here somewhere. Means cabin by the water. That's the plan anyway. We'll see what happens. And some of this has got to get moved over or closer or whatever. It's a pretty big piece of property. Alright, so let's see. Let's roll in. Let's get a little closer so we can see. See, that's not too bad. Alright, let me back off right by the road. Alright, so what do we want to do? Some of this is going to have to be changed. I'm thinking we'll make some lines, some square strips here. Let me see. How about this? Let's do this. Do the square one. Make sure it's on the dirt. Control R. And we'll make it up a little bigger. Remember, they're bigger than they look on here. Don't forget that. Okay. So why don't we do... Let's see. We're going to have a house by the road. Probably on this side, I would think. Most likely, I'd like to have some near this property. Alright, so we're going to say here, and we're going to go this way. I'm obviously going to make it more perfect when I really do the field, so don't worry if it's not perfectly rectangle or square or whatever. Alright, we're going to go this way, and we're going to come this way. Alright, there we go. Now I'm trying to decide, do I want to do a different shape, or what do I want to do? So I'm thinking we'll go with a long piece here, like that. That's just my dog shaking off, if you can hear it. Alrighty, let's go a little further maybe. We don't want to go too far though. And then we're going to come here and make it like so. Alrighty. And we'll try that and see if we like that okay. I think that's decent. And we can always change it if we don't like it. Alright, so for now that's good. So we have another section. And I'm thinking it's going to be just one. It's going to be one house and a shed, and then they own all that. And obviously we'll adjust the ground again if we have to. And obviously, as you can see, that's pretty far. So the house is only going to be a little spot here. There's plenty of room in there, grass or whatever. So we may end up having to change some of this later. If it's way too big when I get in game, I may split it up and put houses over here too, two on each side or whatever we got to do. But some of them I want to be bigger so that you can enjoy. So we're going to go ahead and paint here, and we'll put this on gravel. Control R as in Richard. And let me see. I'm thinking I want the house here, right on this side. Again, like so. And we'll put a shed over here. We could back it up into this area too, but I probably won't. Try to keep them out here. I like them kind of near the other area. Control R, clean this up a bit. There we go. Alrighty. So house shed, house shed. So we got a pretty good bit of houses there. See, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And then there'll be 7 here, and then a cabin. So, and then we'll have trees all up in here and up in here. And I'm not sure here. We'll see what we do there. Alrighty. Now we're gonna come over here to this area. Now I want houses up by the road here. So let's see. I was thinking of putting, yeah, just house after house. So let's write that down. Let's actually make a square, and let's turn it off a minute. Back out. Let's get this concrete, turn it back on, hover over this, Control R, this is concrete. I'm thinking this house ain't gonna be too big, so we'll give it a little room, but not much. We'll back it off the road a little bit. We don't want it to be too close. It'll probably be way further than it looks on here, so I may have to bump it back up once I get in game, but you get the point. And this is crooked, obviously. The house it would face however I do the road, but I'm just plotting it out right now, so it's not final. It's just kind of giving me the idea, so when I start placing things, kind of get it to a good spot or whatever. So probably gonna have to bring them closer together, I'm thinking. I'll have to go down there and look. Actually, let's do that. If you don't know and you're new, let's get down to the ground here like so, and then hit this eyeball, first person mode, and it'll drop you to the ground. So if you're driving along and you turn, there's a house. Excuse me. It's not too far away from the road, so that's pretty good. You could have a driveway. You could have a shed, garage there. Fits. Then you got the next house. This one's a little closer to the road. We might back it up a little. We'll see. Obviously, it ain't gonna be exact. We're just giving an idea. And on that one, we can make their yard bigger, and then they can have a garage next to it, or however we want to do it. And then you figure we'll come over here and have one over here. So then you can just hit escape and hit this, and it's at the size already, so we could just pick our spot and hit it, turn it off, roll back, roll up, and as you see, just move along. They wouldn't be turned that way, they would be facing the road. The houses would face the road, obviously. So, and I say we'll put one closer to the corner there. So we got about 4 houses here, roughly speaking. We'll see how that turns out. That's just my dog sneezing. It's okay, baby. And you okay? Alright. So now I'm gonna have probably go ahead and make a distinction for the distance of how big these properties gonna be. I don't want them too big. I'm thinking, I'm gonna come over here, drop down so I can see how far, and then head this away. So if I'm walking along, I got a backyard here, and then they got a backyard. So I'm thinking maybe that far. So let's come and face down and come straight up, and it's about right here, I would suppose. And we'll make a mark. We'll use this asphalt. Control R. Roughly speaking, it ain't gotta be perfect. I'll just draw a line. Alright. Roughly speaking. Alright, let me turn that off and get over there. There we go. We gotta fix that. We went too far. Alright. Turn it back on. Hit Control R over the grass. Back that off a little bit here. Alrighty. hit Control R over this, and roughly speaking, that's their backyards. Roughly speaking. We'll adjust it accordingly if we have to. But that's the general idea. So now we got these by the road, and they're just houses. They're not anything else. We have room for more fields here, or we could do trees or whatever, but I'm going to do some fields, I think. We'll see. Probably do one over here. Let me think. Yeah, they're going to have a big old piece of property there, but that'll be fine. Obviously, those are going to be cut in two with a fence. Roughly speaking, it'll be there. Roughly speaking, obviously. There'll be a fence here, roughly speaking. Whoop. Getting out of the whack there. Some reason it's not doing right. Okay. We'll come on down here. Roughly speaking, it ain't gotta be perfect right now. Alright. Hit Control R on the grass. Clean up this mess I made here. Just a little bit. Alrighty. Now, we'll go ahead and put it back on the dirt. Control R as in Richard, and let me see. Okay. Probably make one here. Like so. Like that. Like, let's turn this away. Then come down. I'm going to go back up a little. We'll probably put the house on this side. Or we could put it on that side. We'll see. I say about over here probably. Let's let's make our field and then we'll place our house. That'd be better. Alright, let's pick our field shape. Let me think. Probably pretty much rectangle is what I'm thinking. I don't want to get too close to the edge of the road. There we go. Or we could angle it here, but I don't think we need to go too much. There we go. And we should be good there. All of it's subject to change. Alright. That should be good. Then they'll have some fields. We'll put our house here and the shed to the back. Alrighty. We're just going to put an H here. We'll put it on this concrete this time. And put an H here. There obviously will be a pathway there. Shed back here somewhere. Alrighty. Now, I will make some of the properties without houses and sheds, so don't panic. Probably over here somewhere. Maybe. I like them though, so it's going to be hard to do it. Alright, so there's going to be more housing. It's going to be across the road and down this road here. So we're going to go ahead and take and make a few more. We're not going to do everything on this video, just getting going, trying to get some ideas. We'll change some things, don't worry. Some things will change. We'll just have to see. We're going to put a house here. We're going to put a house here. Put a house. Let's see. We could put a house by the water. Let's see. Why don't we put a house there? We'll put a house here and here. We're going to have a whole line of them there. Let me see. We could do a field. Let me look. Let's come over here. So say we got a road. We're driving along. We're going to have a road to go to it. So let's see. Let's say we make a road going that way. So let's do this. let's just say it goes somewhere along there, roughly speaking. It goes kind of over here. And we can make it dirt or whatever we got to do to make it look nice. And we're just drawing it out. All that can change. So then we need some housing or a field here. So I'm going to put it on dirt again. I'm thinking this property owner is going to have the water view or whatever, but they're also going to own this field and stuff. And this house, or we could make this house own a field, or one here, some here, and this one owns the ones behind it. Okay, so let's do this. Let's make this one own something probably here, and then we'll make it him own something else here. It'll be like an L, and it'll come down a little bit here, and it'll go over. His house will be over this way some. Alright, so roughly speaking there. So he's going to own that little section right there. This road is going to belong to this person probably, maybe, or just be anybody's road. And if we make it longer, we could make it longer. But let's just see. We might make it a dirt road. I don't know. It'll either go behind the houses or in front of them. I'm not sure yet. We'll change that accordingly. So I'll have to see. But basically, let's get closer so we can see. So see, they got this water front, and that's pretty decent distance away. Alright, so let's see what we need. We're going to have a fence. So let's draw an asphalt fence real quick. And we're almost done with this video pretty quick. Alright, so say these guys have a little bit of property. Okay, so this guy don't have a whole heck of a lot. Well, that's alright. He'll live something like that. Alright. And we're going to say this guy, he's got a little bit more property. And we're going to make it wider there. We'll have to back that off a little bit according to the road, but you get the point. So this is going to be our field area. Alright. We're going to go on and have some fields. We don't go all the way over there. We're going to have some trees right here blocking that, kind of secluding that a little bit. Alright, so now we're going to go ahead and paint in a fence here. So roughly speaking, so say this is going to come on down. It's going to be straight, but you get the point. It's going to, if there is a fence, even if there's not a fence, I'm just making the boundary to know this is our section. This will help when I'm making the farmlands, so I'll know kind of how I was thinking. Okay, so it doesn't have to necessarily be a fence there. I can have it and no fence there, but in the farmlands I want to know where I'm kind of thinking I'm going to put this. Alright, so this one's going to own this, and we're gonna put a dirt area. Let's see what we got here. I'm gonna say he needs a pretty good size field because he's got a lot of money. So we're gonna give him a pretty big field here. Alright. Whoa, don't do that. Come back here. Let's just make it big like this. Okay. Make our life a little easier. There we go. Now you got your nice big old field. You happy? You made me do it. Alright. I'm trying to get that lined up, but it ain't working out so good. Good enough. Alright. So, he's got a big old field. And we might put a shed. We're going to have to put a shed down. Because if he's got that, he needs a shed. So let's get this to right width. Control R, bring it on down, and put a shed there. We'll know that this is a house. If we're worried about it, put an H on it. If you're worried about it, there. Good enough. That looks kind of weird, but there we go. So now he's got his place. and we'll bring that down. So let's put it back on this, and we're almost done. We're gonna stop as soon as we get to the edge here. I'm gonna put this, roughly speaking, he's gonna own all that. He's gonna own all the way to the water. He's got money. Alright, and that's just distinct. We'll erase that later. So, and this road's gonna come across. There's not gonna be a fence blocking the road, so don't panic. And I'm gonna keep the road coming along this for a little bit. Alright, so it's probably a dirt road, most likely. We'll see. I ain't gonna get that close, and this won't be water here. We'll fix that. Alright, and the road may back off a little bit. We'll see. Actually, probably should have made it a little more straight. Alright, let's make it a little more straight. So let's turn this back on. Let's do that. Make it a little more straight. We'll cut that out right there. Alright, let's put it back on here. We'll make it bigger just to give the idea. There we go. That's good enough for now. Alright, so that goes back into the woods. It's probably going to be a dirt road, like I said. We'll lift that up. It won't be water there. And then we'll have one more field, and then trees will be on the other side. So let's paint this field in. And then we're going to call it an episode. We'll put a couple more houses in. Go ahead and get those. We'll probably keep them coming down. We'll go a little further over. He's got a little more property. And then another house, and that'll be about the last house. And then it'll come this way most likely. And then these are going to be trees. He's next to the woods, and then this fence, we'll go ahead and draw the fence property. This is how this part's going to go. So that's going to be all trees. Okay. Now, we need a house. So we'll put this on here and say there's going to be a house right next to this. Right there. And we'll say there's going to be a shed behind it. Then we're going to put it on dirt. All of it's subject to change if we don't like it. And in this case, we're going to have a field like so. It's going to come down. We're just going to follow this land and make it accordingly. There we go. And that shed will have plenty of room because we're way up here, and you can't tell it, but that's going to have plenty of room. Once we get in there, you'll see how much room there is here for a house. It's a lot of room. So, alright, so we should be good there. I'm gonna call that, and now we can always adjust it and make it all nice on the edges and everything, so don't worry about all that. This is just laying it out. But anyway, I'm gonna probably call that episode. We're gonna have trees all along here, but I hope you enjoyed. I'm gonna catch you on the next one. As you can see, we got a lot done plotting this out. We're moving along. We're getting it under control, and hopefully we can get going a lot quicker on here. But please smash that like button if you like the video. Subscribe. Turn on your notification bell if you want to receive a notification every time I post a video. Goodbye, everybody.